Welcome to the fourth day of Arts and Crafts at VBS Concrete and Cranes. Today's foundational point is promise. Jesus will always love me. He will never leave us, ever. Even though he's now in heaven, he's been resurrected after he was crucified on the cross. He is with us now, even during our earthly life. We can talk to him, we can hear from him. So Jesus is with us always, whether he's up in heaven and we're here, but soon we'll be with him. Now I'm going to move to our craft table. Okay, before we begin on our foundation of promise, I'm going to read you a verse. And remember, I am with you always to the end of the age. Matthew 28:20b.
I'm with you always to the very end.
That's right, forever.
Forever and ever, never, 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 never.
And we don't even know what that means, do we?
No.
It never ends. We can't imagine. Okay, now we're going to present the craft sheets.
Hey, Miss Cindy.
Yeah.
Guess why I wore these special glasses today?
I noticed that. Whoa, your eyes look so big in those things.
I know.
And they kind of bounce around, that boy.
I know, but I didn't want to miss anything.
That's
I was
true.
to watch everything that we're doing.
Well, you are going to
It's
have.
important.
That's right, and you're in a front row seat, and you're going to be doing this project with me because I have a package just for you. In fact, I'm going to let you open the package. Now, everybody, Miss Maddie's going to grab day 4, and day 4. She's going to open it up and see what's inside.
I'm going to open it up. And the first thing that we have today is something that's white and hard and heavy. It could be a piece of cheese.
Cheese.
What is
Well,
it?
try again,
It
Maddie.
doesn't smell like cheese. But it doesn't taste like cheese.
Uh-oh, I hope it's not poisonous.
I don't either. What is it? It's wet.
It's wet, but we don't want to take anything off yet because we don't want it to dry out.
What is it?
I'm going to give you a hint. You can get it from the ground.
It's not a worm.
It's not
Not a
soil,
bug.
but some parts of the ground are made with clay. So it's clay.
Clay.
It's real clay.
Ooh.
Natural clay.
It's not fake clay. Where do you
No,
get
it's
fake
not that
clay?
Play-Doh stuff.
Play-Doh.
Okay, so put that down.
It smells much. Doesn't smell as good as Play-Doh.
No, and I don't know what that smell is.
Play-Doh tastes kind of salty.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, so
Next
pull out-
in the bag.
So you should have your clay, a little cup,
A little tiny cup.
a Dixie,
Hi, Dixie. She's so cute.
and she's going to pull out some more things that you have,
There's a big stick.
and that's going to be our rolling pin. Pull out our clay,
Oh, for rolling.
and the next two things, we have tongue depressants. Now we're not going to put them in our tongue. I usually do that. I knew I had to catch you. But we're going to use the shape the clay. And we have a little...
Like chopsticks?
Well, kind of. We're not going to eat the clay. I think you're hungry.
Maybe.
And she has
This
a
looks
toothpick.
sharp.
And don't poke your eye out with that. You already have problems. And we're going to use that to do something special
mine's
with the clay.
Standing up.
That's right. This clay.
Mine's a
Pliable.
funky
And a rock.
This is not a very pretty rock.
It's pretty.
It's not shiny or smooth.
Well, you could put something on it to shine up, but look at the rock. It's shaped kind of flat on top and kind of bumpy and rough and jagged on the bottom. And there's a reason for that. Okay, are we ready to begin?
Yes, what is the mystery?
So, I have some other things out here. Maddie didn't have this in her bag.
Aw.
I know. Sorry, Maddie. We'll have to share. This is a little mini dowel that we can use to make decorations. So, we're going to make a clay trivet. What's a trivet, you ask?
I didn't ask it, but I was thinking about it.
Well, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to have to move over here quickly so you can be watching the trivet. And I'm going to take this frying pan off.
You gonna hit somebody with that?
Well, It's funny how we think alike. But anyways, if this frying pan was really hot, I wouldn't want to put it on the table.
Or touch it with your hand, because that would be really
That's
good.
right. You'd have to go to the hospital if I was holding it like that. So, a trivet is to hold hot containers on your table. Say if you want to have a hot dish put out on your table, you don't want to put it directly on the table, you put it on your trivet. And if you do this right, you can get it to fit perfect. You don't want it to be lopsided, so we're gonna have to really.
What about hot chocolate?
You could.
Or hot French fries, or hot potatoes.
Anything that can fit in a hot container.
Hot chili peppers.
So, this is to protect your table and your body. And you can test it out when you're finished, because you don't want your rocks to be uneven.
That protected your body.
That's right. It's my shield of armor.
And
now, the first thing you're going to do is take your clay
my clay, can I take off that stinky
and
paper?
undress it. Take that off. And you know what? This is to protect it, because if it gets dried out, it will dry like a rock and you won't be able to use it. So,
What's sticking on here? Ew.
I know, and I hope the kids can get it out and don't end up. I hope you can get it out without this being embedded in your clay. Okay, so now once you have your clay out, and I have all these little pieces, and make sure there's no paper in it, just get your paper out of there. Then you're going to take this clay and start pushing it with your hand. You're going to hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. And this, by the way, you need to put this green paper on the bottom. You don't want to have it on the kitchen table. This is your mat for working on. Hit it and try to get it into a ball. Just move it. This is called kneading the clay. Now, for those people that have little hands, this might be tough. You can also, that's good to get
Whoa.
and you can whack it and turn it around and try to get it shaped.
Hey, Miss Cindy, remind me never to make you mad.
This is a way to get your frustration out, right?
Yes,
Okay, so
let's whack it.
now what I'm also doing is, besides kneading it, I really want to get the cracks out of the clay, and I want all the clay to be pretty smooth looking. Now normally clay you put in an oven called a kiln, you'd fire it, and you would have to make sure your clay is really kneaded and you got all the cracks out, because
So
that
needy.
would cause air to go in and it would blow up in the kiln.
It's kind of like a burp.
That's true, but you know what? We're not going to worry about that because we're not going to put it in the kiln. Okay, once you have
We're not supposed to use hot ovens.
No, and basically this will dry pretty good on its own. So now we're going to shape it into a ball,
Can I do it like this?
and you can do it like that, or you can roll it on the table real quick and try to get it as smooth as possible where you don't have all those cracks, because you just don't want to start out with a crack.
Break
Okay,
your mama's back if you have a crack.
that's right.
It's not really right. It's just
I know,
a
but
joke.
we always used to jump around on the sidewalk. We never would go on a crack. Kids nowadays probably don't even know what we're talking about. Okay, so once you have it in a ball, pretty good ball, it's pretty smooth and you don't have any cracks, and you can take your thumb and kind of rub the clay where you can get some of that out. And I'm kind of cupping my hands and turning it around, and boy, that's a good.
Is this good?
That's perfect. Okay, so once you get that done, put it in the middle. Now you can, because you're going to have a flat bottom anyways. Now, get your big rolling pin. Madeline has a little one.
Because I'm little.
Because you're little. Now, just gently roll it out. Roll it, roll it.
How gentle?
Now, you want to have it even. You don't want to have one side thicker than the other. And you don't want to have it so thin that when you put your rock in here, which you're going to use your rocks, and they go right through. Now watch this. Turning. Oops, good thing there's no water in there. Turning. Now I'm going to do the other side, going across and just getting it a little bigger. Keep going back and forth, and I'm not pounding it in, because if I go too hard, you're going to have a big groove in there, and you don't want that. You want it like a pancake. Now, I'm going to turn it around again.
I like blueberry pancakes. Can
I
I smash
love
it like
blueberry.
this?
peach. Oops, now I just got a groove in mine. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, I noticed I got a little groove in mine. Now Madeline, you're making it a little bit,
My name is Maddie.
Maddie, sorry. You're getting, I bet it's really Madeline, Maddie for short.
Nobody calls me that.
So once you have it almost, I'd say, thumb thickness, then you need to stop.
Like this?
Yeah, that's good. So you might want to wipe out that little groove there. So it doesn't have to be perfect on top, because you might want to just use the shape you come out with. Now I did cut into mine, and I used my tongue depressor, and I cut a little bit. If you want to do that, you can. All I did is cut like this, and then I cut down like this, and made a little pie shape, and just pull it out. Boop. Looks like Pac-Man. But you don't have to do that. Then I kind of smooth. Smooth.
That's what Pac-Man says.
That's what he does say. Okay, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe you don't want to do that.
I'm just going to leave mine like that.
I kind of like it just plain myself, but I just wanted to give the boys and girls ideas. And you can, if you want to shape it and push this against here and maybe square it up more, or whatever you want to do to make it look more interesting. Okay, so once you get this even on the top, so one side is not more than the other. Oh, how sweet you are.
I'm just trying to say hi.
Hi. I can't touch you with a clay on my hand. Okay, so now we're going to take our rocks.
How many rocks do I get?
Well, we're going to have to share this time.
Okay.
I'm looking at mine. I know mine's a little uneven, but I'm going to push the rocks in a way that I will try to keep it even. Now, I take my rock and I look for the flat side up.
Flat side up.
And I'm just going to put it on top.
Pointy side down.
I'm not even going to put it in yet. This is the flatter side. Maybe I want this here and this here. I'm just putting them in, but you can make your own pattern. But basically the rocks are going to represent something. You know, we use things to build on, like a foundation like this. Your house you're going to build with steel and glass and wood, but let's pretend this is the foundation of Christ, and this clay represents that foundation, and these rocks represent the good building material that we're going to use to build on Christ. The good things that we say, think, and do. And sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have something on our foundation that's not too nice, but we can ask Jesus for forgiveness.
Do I get to push it in now?
If you're happy with what you've done, you can push it in.
It's kind of hard.
Now, when you push it in, you realize that some rocks are going to have to go in a little deeper to be even up with the shorter ones. You might have to push harder. You don't want to go right through the whole thing, but you want them to be pretty much the same height. So just push them in, have enough clay around them so they'll be secure. When it dries, they'll be really tight. And I might even take my little finger, and this time we're going to take a little bit of water and put it in our little Dixie cups. So Miss Maddie, get your Dixie cup ready.
Oh, I have a cup too.
And, I just forgot to tell you to do something before that. Kids, we're going to have to back up. We're going to have to back up. When you take your rocks out and take your toothpick and score it, scratch, 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 because that will make it stick better. And stick it back down in there.
Scratching your eyes out.
So scratch, 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 and stick it back down there. Get it back to where it was. And scratch, 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 and stick it back down there. And scratch again, because that will keep it more secure. Now remember, don't push right down through the bottom. And scratch, 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 scratch. Kind of like we do with our scissors on our little builder guide. The rougher it is, the better it will stay together. Okay, so put it in there, and I noticed that this one's kind of high up. Now, I'm kind of looking to see if they're kind of even. That one in the middle looks kind of big. But I'm going to take my tongue depressor and see if it's going to... Oh, it's not bad. I think it may rock just a little bit. I think it'll be okay. Okay, So now, after we scratch, put our rocks back in there. We dip our finger, a little bit of water, and I'm going to take my finger and rub it.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Hey, look it.
That's good. That's great. And I'm going to rub around the rocks and make sure the clay is really along the edge of each rock. And I'm doing it as smooth as I can. And notice my rocks are not right so close together that I can't get my finger in. That might be
Hello,
helpful.
Miss Cindy.
Oh, you made a
Did you know
face.
Jesus taught you?
Yes, and I like your
Hello,
face.
boys and girls.
You made a nice face.
Hello. Please don't set something hot on my face.
Okay, when you're done doing your little thing with your finger and just making sure that you have pushed that clay toward each rock around every edge, you're going to let it dry. And this means 7 days of waiting.
Oh man, that's a long time.
Now, one other thing is, if you want to get more decorative, I gave you a mini dowel, and I made just little circles to make it part of my design if I want. I mean, I don't have to go wild with it, but whatever.
That looks pretty.
And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. So you can go ahead and use whatever you have. Maybe you have something else that looks pretty cool and make another kind of shape. Okay, so now we're going to have to let it dry. This
For 7 days.
7 days, yes, 7 days, and you can tell when your clay is not dry.
Nights.
That's right. So that's a whole
Like Noah's in the
week.
ark.
Well, that was much longer. I don't think we'd want to wait that long. So
Seems like waiting for Christmas.
it does. When your clay is drying, if it's still cold to the touch, it's not dry yet. Sometimes, maybe in the next 3 days, I'm going to take the one I made, you can turn it over and put it upside down so the back will start drying out. But I wouldn't do that right away. I'd let the front dry. Now, after 7 days, you can take your paint and you can paint it.
Can I give this to like my daddy for Christmas?
Sure, you can do anything you want. Now, I'm just gonna...
It might be dry by then.
Yeah, it might be. No, don't tell the kids that. So, I'm using my acrylic paints, and you have them also. And I'm just going to paint. I'm not going to paint the bottom. No one's gonna
Yeah, I'm
see the bottom.
using this stick to push the clay up.
And I'm just going to paint around my rocks. And I really want my rocks to show up. But now, if you don't want your rocks to show up and you want to paint every rock, you could do that. So, I'm just going to paint around, and I notice I have some cracks. So when this is drying, you might find some cracks.
What do we do? What do you do?
We can save it by using some glue. Miss Maddie, can you run over there and get that real quick? So if you see cracks developing while it's drying in those 7 days, thank you so much.
Here I come to save the day.
She's a great helper. Let's give her a hand. Yay! So, you just put a little glue on wherever those cracks are, rub it in, and if you want to put another layer in, you can do that. So that should help if you develop any cracks. Mine probably developed cracks because I did this. I wiggled my rocks, and I want to make sure they're going to stay.
Wiggle the rocks.
But
Don't wiggle
now I'm
the
not going to
rocks.
wiggle them. You're not going to wiggle them because I know after I tested this, they will stay. So don't wiggle anything. So if you see cracks, you can put your glue on and just wipe it off. Now I hope you didn't use too much water, because some kids use so much water, they make it mud and it sticks on their hands and they can't get it off. So leave it 7 days, paint it, and if you want to get shiny, you might be able to get decoupage finish or Mod Podge, and you can paint the whole thing. This will dry clear and it will give a different kind of shine to it.
On the 6th day, you can send out a dove and see if it comes back.
So, enjoy this. Remember, we're building on God's foundation, Jesus' foundation, and the rocks are the good things, hopefully, that you are building with good building material.
Be a good builder.
See you tomorrow.